I'm a normal 7, babe, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with that fire.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I've prepared an effect called slide scrolling animation. You'll probably seen this effect in a lot of edits, especially music edits or visual content built around artists and songs. It's a really popular technique and it shows up everywhere. So today I want to break it down and walk you through how I created using one of my own examples. I will show you the full process step by step without any overcomplicated things. But before we get into it, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and leave a comment. It really helps support the channel and helps me keep going. And to everyone who's been sticking around and supporting me, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, you are amazing. Alright, I won't drag this out any longer and let's get into the video. Alright guys, for this effect you're gonna need a few frames from your favorite music video or from your own footage. The main thing is that all shots share the same vibe and are more or less static. If there are a lot of movement, the whole process gets way more complicated. Also, ideally the person in your shot should be centered in the frame. Not too far back and not super close to the camera. Full body shot works best, but a medium shot like waist up is totally fine. What you don't want is a super tight close-up or a tiny figure lost somewhere in a distance. I'm using frames from Kendrick and SZA Loser music video, and that's what I'll be working with today. Alright guys, so I've got 5 frames lined up and our first step is to animate them using position. We drop our first keyframe on the frame we are working with and start sliding it to the right, since in our reference everything moves from right to left. The main goal here is to line up all 5 clips so they flow as one continuous layer. The most important part is dialing in the right speed, because at first mine were moving way too fast and I had to slow everything down. By the way, if you are doing this for the first time, I honestly recommend starting with still images. It's way easier to adjust the speed, because with video you can get a little trickier. And make sure to keep an eye on the spacing. Like I'm doing here, you don't want the layers overlapping too much, but you also don't want huge gaps between them. If honestly, those gaps get annoying to fix later. So yeah, I've almost lined up the first 2 frames and here's what I've got. As you can see, it's not that complicated, and now we just repeat the same thing for all the remaining clips. Here is the animation I ended up with. Everything looks pretty clean, but on the last frame I noticed this little gap showing through. So let's fix that. First, duplicate your clip, grab the rectangle mask and draw a small box over the exact area where the gap appears. Then look up motion title and drop it onto the duplicated layer. Check mirror edges and increase the output width. I'm bumping mine up to 270, but you can adjust it however you like. And now the base is ready. Next, I want to soften the transitions between the frames so the whole thing feels more like one continuous layer. I found a method that works pretty well for me, that's mask plus blur. So create a new adjustment layer, add a directional blur, set the direction to 90 degrees and increase the blur. I'm setting mine to 34. Now draw a mask on that same adjustment layer. Let's zoom in and stretch the mask so it covers everything. And you might notice a visible edge where the blurred area meets the regular footage, so let's soften that by increasing the mask further until it's basically seamless. And here is what we get, looks much smoother. And now we need to attach this mask to that exact spot. I will be honest with you guys, I am not pro in tracking. So I did this whole thing manually using position. If anyone knows an easier method, please share it in the comments, I will be really happy. As far as I know, After Effects can be pretty stubborn when tracking something like this. I tried it and it kept drifting all over the place, so I just went with the simpler manual approach. So I attached the mask where it needs to be, trimmed the adjustment layer, duplicated, moved it to the next transition and attached it the same way. And we just keep repeating that for all the transition between frames. So here is what I've got so far. It's already looking pretty good, and congrats, we have officially done about 15% of the effect. But we are not done yet. As you can see, there are still a few little artifacts here, but don't worry, we are gonna fix all of that. Next step, let's smooth out our animation a bit by selecting the keyframes and hitting F9. And don't forget to do the same for the rest of the clips you are using for the main animation. I already did it on my end, just remind you. And now I want to add a couple of Kendrick cutouts on top of the transitions between the frames, again to make the whole video feel more cohesive. You can add whatever you like, anything that matches the vibe of your piece. I am using stills from different music videos, and once again I really recommend working with images instead of video, because they are way easier to handle. So now I am cutting out the figure using Rotobrush. Alright, so I've cut out our figure. Let's soften the edges a bit by increasing the feather. I am setting mine to 19, and now I want to place this cutout right over this transition between the frames. We've got the same task here as before, we need to lock it in the place, and again I am doing this using position. Here is roughly how it turned out for me, looks pretty good, and I just keep placing the figure on all the transitions all the way through. I also found this other frame that I really liked, so I'm going to cut out that figure as well and continue placing it the same way. Okay guys, so here is what I've got now. I added the cutout figures into the video and it already looks way more interesting and dynamic. Now we are moving on to one of the most fun parts, that's color grading. So create an adjustment layer and drop Lumetri color onto it. I want to give this whole thing more of an old school vibe, so I am adding some contrast. I am setting it to 91. Then I want to warm up the image a bit by setting the temperature to 18. And I am also adding a slight green tint by setting tints to -21. Everything else I'll tweak using the curves. You can absolutely do your own color grade, whatever fits your project best. Next, I am planning to add a paper overlay. This is one I made myself and it's going to help hide any remaining artifacts from the blur. So we drop it in, switch the blending mode to screen, duplicate it and place it over all our clips. I'll leave a link to this overlay in the description. And here is what we get. Alright, so I exported our videos so it's easier to work with, and now we reached the final stage, adding the text. And congratulations, because it's finally time to use After Effects 3D Camera Tracker. So let's drop it onto our video and wait for it to analyze everything. After the analysis is finished, you will see a bunch of tracking points all over your video. Now you just need to pick one that sits in a high contrast area. I am gonna go with this one. Do right click with your mouse and choose Create Text and Camera. That gives us a text layer where we can type whatever we want. Let's move it over here onto the wall and scale it down a bit. Also, if your tracking points aren't sticking or the track keeps failing, I highly recommend pre-composing your video and adding Lumetri color inside that pre-comp. Then increase the contrast. That usually helps a lot. And here is what I am getting so far. We just continue adding whatever text we need throughout the video, simply duplicate the text layer and move it to the next spot where you want it. If it starts drifting, just choose a new tracking point and reattach it. As you can see, this effect is actually pretty simple, definitely not as complicated as it might seem at first.
So here is the final result I got. I think it turned out pretty cool.
Alright guys, thank you so much to everyone who watched till end and supported this video. See you in the next breakdowns.